Arizona with them, who I wager are probably not an Arizona band, but I don't know. All three of them next Friday night on stage at Blossom. LiveNation.com for all the other details. You can get this pair from me here. Be caller number 10, and they're yours. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
What feels great to do is absolutely free, can be done by yourself, and yet no one ever mentions it.
It's the Alan Cox Show
on the Buzzard.
WMMS.
Well, the Orioles avoided the sweep. They were close, boy. 4-2 was the final in that series in Baltimore yesterday. 4-2 Orioles over the Guardians. Guardians start up tonight, first of four. They go through the weekend against the Kansas City Royals. That is an 8:10 first pitch tonight, so 7:40 on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app is when your pregame coverage will begin. And then we go into next week. I grabbed myself some tickets for Tuesday night's game. The White Sox are in town.
I'm
hey!
be there as well.
I'll see you there.
You probably won't.
Oh.
I got the $11 tickets.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
I got to be way up.
I got some club seats.
Yeah, well.
White Sox Guardians.
Must be nice to have club seats money.
Well, I didn't buy them.
Oh.
The station had them.
Oh, I see.
You think I'm going to pay money to watch my team get the piss beat out of them by the Guardians? Mm-hmm. But I got to be there. I'm a booster.
I'll trade you.
Huh? No, I don't think so. I want to see them lose up close. That's really what I like to do.
In the club seats, you're not really up close.
Well, closer than you said you're going to be, touching the sky.
It's a good view, though. I mean, you can see everything.
Yeah. Do you bring opera binoculars?
Nah. That's actually not bad. Like, if you're right behind the home plate, which is where I am, it's not a terrible view.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're far away, but you can see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Well, there's going to be a lot to see.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I'm trying to, I want to go to games, but I also don't want to spend a ton of money, and I'm taking my girlfriend and her niece and daughter. So
I see. You got the whole brood.
Yeah, so I don't want to spend a ton of money.
I understand.
Because there's still going to be a lot of money spent when we get to the game.
Yeah.
So.
You mean on snacks and beverages?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Things like that. Maybe we'll go get food beforehand. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But it'll be a lot of fun.
The big story from last night's game is a guy named Honk Chesney. Is that his name?
Is Honk his...
I don't know.
Honk?
Jonk Chesney? Jonk Chesney Noel. I haven't heard the name pronounced. I just know that he is the headline in the stories. They called him up from AAA Columbus, and he homers in his first Major League Baseball at-bat.
That's cool.
So that's a story that you'll always have. Honk C. I don't know. JHONKENSY. John Kenzie. It's probably John Kenzie Knoll. Again, I didn't hear it pronounced, so somebody can correct me on this if they heard Hammy calling it last night. Honk Kenzie became the fourth Cleveland player in franchise history to homer in his first Major League at-bat, going deep against the Baltimore Orioles just hours after being recalled from AAA Columbus.
John Kenzie. It's probably John Kenzie.
John Kenzie? It's not Honk Chesney? I mean,
Chesney doesn't even make sense because it's not. It's Kenzie.
Okay.
John Kenzie is
right.
my guess.
John
J-Honk.
It's Kenny Chesney's lesser-known twin. Kenny and Honk Chesney. Boy, when they were younger, they went everywhere together. The previous Cleveland player to hit a home run in his first at-bat was in 2006. A guy named Kevin Kuzmanoff. Remember Kevin Kuzmanoff?
That one got by me.
They called him the Kuz. Probably. There in the dugout. Everybody give it up for the Kuz.
Who was that managing? Was that Manny Acta?
Manny Acta was Manny Acta was on fumes when I came to Cleveland. That was Christmas of 2009. So it was he was almost done, and then Tito came in. Because I think Tito's the only guy between Manny Acta and the new guy, Stephen Vogt.
It wasn't.
Right?
It wasn't Manny Acta. It was the guy. It was Wedge.
Eric Wedge
in 2006, I believe.
Oh God, I don't even know that name. Is Manny Acta still in Major League Baseball?
Not that I know of.
Not okay.
But I mean, he could be, but I just don't know.
Okay. No, this says he was the manager from 2010 to 2012.
Okay.
So Manny Acta was here
Eric
when I was
Wedge
here.
Then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Eric Wedge.
Eric Wedge.
Well, because Eric Wedge, he had a pretty good run, and then before him was Hargrove, and Hargrove was the manager for 10 years at least.
Manny Acta is currently the third base coach for the Mariners. So there you go. But Jay Honk Chesney had a huge night last night there at Camden Yards. And that's got to be nice. They call you up from Columbus, and they go, "Hey, man, do you want to play some big boy ball tonight?" And he goes, "Yeah, got a hot bat." Because that's when you want to show off. You want to show them that they made a good move by calling you up. It doesn't always go that way.
Because there's another guy, I think Rodriguez was there at the game that I was at on Saturday, and it was his first Major League at bat, and he
whiffed
on everything. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, he had a bad day. I think he at least got one line drive out where he at least made contact, but I think he struck out 3 times.
Yeah. Well, Jay Honk homered.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a big deal, right? You're not getting a base hit. He homered.
Honk.
Jay Honk Chesney.
You know why? And here's the thing: when you buy tickets on the ballpark app, they flip the seats around. So I think I'm buying something lower, and then when I get but it's like flipped around, and so I'm not paying attention to that. I'm just like, oh, if it's lower, it should be lower seats, but it's actually higher. It's annoying.
Wait, what?
That's why I'm at the back of the thing.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to buy seats lower, but they flip it around. Let me show you. I don't even know how to explain it.
I've got that app.
All right, so go like you're trying to buy tickets up in the area.
Yup.
All right, so you go tickets, and then when you get up there, you have to sign in. I'm already signed
I
in.
don't know. Okay,
Right,
so
don't worry.
the map looks weird.
They flip it around.
Flip it around.
They flip it around.
Okay. Wait, so you didn't get the tickets you thought you were
getting? I thought
getting?
I was getting closer tickets, and then it's too late. And they go, "You're in row X." I'm like, I don't want row X.
Row X.
All right, here, watch.
Yeah, but like the price point on the tickets, those
Right,
are
but
the same.
the whole thing is like $11.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, look at this.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at this,
Yep.
where do you think lower here?
Yeah.
This is gonna be
Yeah.
closer to the field.
Yeah.
But the field's this way. And
Yeah, but it says field.
I see that now.
You didn't see where it said field.
I didn't see where it said field.
You thought the field was at the bottom.
I thought that, yeah.
Oh, so you played yourself, player. Oh, I see what happened there.
Yeah, I got it switched around.
Yeah, they got a thing at the top that says
Dyslexia is a real thing, and I got
field
it.
this way.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Well. We'll get a breeze.
Listen, it's never a bad night at the ballpark.
Well, those aren't the last row's $11 tickets anyway, so I'm fine with that. Then I can take everybody up there for $40. It's not gonna hurt my wallet too bad.
I was reading about a dude who broke into, I think this was in Pennsylvania. No, Fargo, North Dakota. We have bureau chiefs in Fargo who listen on the iHeartRadio app. We have Mike in Fargo. We have Mark in Fargo. Mike and Mark in Fargo. They scooped up a guy who was breaking into a garage so he could steal a whole bunch of animal crackers. And I'm like, well, animal crackers are really good, and they've come a long way. When I was a kid, my grandma would always put a box of animal crackers was of Nabisco animal crackers. I don't know if it's the OG. When I was a kid, it was just the cardboard box that was done up to look like a circus train car. So it had the animals on front, and then there was just a little wax paper bag on the inside, and you'd open it up, and you'd have these dry-ass animal crackers. She'd always put them on our Christmas stockings. But animal crackers have come a long way. I think you can still get a bag of the dry ass plain animal crackers.
I didn't know there was any developments in animal crackers.
Yeah, now they have them frosted.
I mean, they had frosted, like they had the pink frosted ones that I remember from when I was a kid. But it was still like it wasn't like a great frosting. It wasn't like, it was just like that dried on frosting.
We had the Barnum's Animals Nabisco animal crackers. I don't know if they still make, because now you can get animal crackers in like a plastic jug that looks like a bear. Why they single out the bear, I don't know. You can get animal cookies. Those are traditionally the frosted ones. But the Barnum's Animal Dry Ass Cookies are the ones that we always, they're not called dry ass cookies, but they should have they should have been called
Get some dry ass cookies.
Merry Christmas, grandson. You'll find an extra present in your stocking next to the orange.
What was drier? Those animal crackers are the ones that came in the tin. Like
I don't know that I had the ones.
You don't remember those?
No.
Like the ones that came in the tin that with the little paper cups around them?
No. Don't know that.
Oh, those things are dry.
I don't know that. No.
You don't remember? You never had them?
I mean, I know what you're talking about. I don't know that I had them, but we would have the Barnum's Animals Dry Ass Cookies. And, of course, I mentioned this yesterday. Nothing is drier than the roasted fava bean snacks. Those things, boy, you need a gallon of water to get through a bag of those.
Like a British comedy from the 80s.
That's right. Bone dry. Bone dry. Yeah, so now they have all kinds of animal crackers. So they were exceedingly stingy on the details of this guy who was breaking into a garage to steal the animal crackers. They found him with a throwing knife on his belt and a bud of marijuana in his baseball cap. I don't know what the state of marijuana legalization is in North Dakota, but this guy had a little bud in his cap. That's where he wanted to keep it. And so they go into his backpack, and there was more pot, and there was a lockpick tool, and all the stuff that you need to break into stuff, and 2 pair of women's underwear that he said were his girlfriends. But he was breaking in. They determined he was breaking into the storage unit there in Fargo to steal animal crackers and women's clothes. A guy named Daniel Meisner was the guy that they scooped up. So you've got to think, boy, if you're breaking into a storage unit, if you've ever, people watch Storage Wars, right? That show really, I don't know if it's as popular as it once was, but that's a show that's been shown around the world. I remember we were in Corsica years ago, and the Storage Wars in French was on. And, if you've ever watched that show, people stop paying their storage rent, and then it's the property of the place. So they come by with a big bolt cutter. That's the whole premise of that show. People that have stopped paying for their storage unit, they auction them off. This guy didn't want to wait for that. This guy wanted to get in there. He's like, hey, there's thongs and animal crackers in there, and I'm getting in there. I don't care what anybody says. Alan McDonald's animal cookies were always the best.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, I remember those
too. Those were pretty good.
Reese's makes Reese's covered animal crackers. Bill is talking about Danish butter cookies.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound like a dry cookie.
But they are.
Yeah.
They're pretty dry.
Okay. Well, I got to get a line on those Reese's ones.
They're made with butter.
Yeah. And so, to my mind, people give me a hard time about how I eat, but I have to think that it's because of the way that I was raised when it comes to food. I was getting dry-ass animal crackers. I was getting lima beans I didn't want to eat. I was getting all kinds of hippie dishes, that were supposed to be good for you, but I didn't want to eat them. Friends, Bill Wills here for Barnum's Dry-Ass Animal Crackers.
Dry-ass
Animal crackers. Friends, I'm Bill Wills.
Do you hate moisture?
Do you?
You hate it, especially in your mouth.
Yeah.
You want to not be able to hawk to.
Hawk to your animal crackers all over the place. I've got a little bit of poop news here before I go to a break. There's a lot of health and wellness products, right? They have to say, you'll hear them say it very, very quickly. these products have not been evaluated by the FDA for effectiveness. You hear that? That's like when they say it real fast. The guy talks real fast. And, there's a debate to be had on the credibility of the Food and Drug Administration. But it is really funny how people flipped on a dime with some health products. Because you had a lot of people during the pandemic screaming and pissing and whining about the vaccine. They didn't know what was in it, and they ain't going to take it, which is a valid question. That's okay. But those very same people, they lined right up for Ozempic and Wegovy and Manjaro. No questions asked. They didn't care what was in it. They just want to get skinny fast. And nobody knows, by the way, what the long-term effects of that stuff is going to be. And so
remember a few years ago when everybody was so worried about what was in stuff that you're going to inject into your body, and then they're like, hey, this will make you skinny. They're like, give it to me.
Of course, they lined right up.
Yep.
So, there are still conspiracy theorists going on and on about Bill Gates is putting nano trackers in the vaccine that interact with 5G and all this nonsense. Those dummies never figured out that if there was some cabal that was going to put QAnon robots in something, it was going to be in the fat loss drugs. Because nobody questioned that at all. They just wanted to get skinny. And so another product that has not been evaluated by the FDA is basically bootleg fecal matter that's out there for sale. A company that is selling. We've talked about, people who have something called C. diff. There's a procedure called a fecal transplant where somebody who has one condition can get healthy fecal matter implanted into their gut, their system, to try to equalize whatever their bacterial situation, their microbiome, I assume, is what they're talking about. But there is a company who has gotten multiple warning letters because they're selling products that have what they say is healthy fecal matter. A company that calls itself the world's largest stool donor bank. I mean, if you're going to get donor stool, if you're going to get somebody else's poop, you don't want some mom and pop poop bank. You want the world's largest. You want high quality donor stool. And so they've gotten multiple letters, not only from the United States, but also from Canada, saying, hey, we're going to need more information that this is okay, that people can take this. But because so many of these companies can sell whatever they want to sell without them being, because it's up to people to buy it. It's up to you to buy it. So they have not been evaluated by either the FDA down here or the organizations that do that in Canada. And so, it's probably not cheap. And so if you get online and you're like, hey, here's a company here that's going to sell me, I don't know what the distribution model is. I don't know if they're like capsules of freeze-dried turds or what they are. I don't know if they're
I hope
fecal
it's not capsules
supposit-
because that's just too easy to you don't want to mix that up and be like, oh, this is not to be taken by mouth.
Right. These are some tiny little suppositories.
You don't want to accidentally take somebody's fecal pill.
Well, no. Honey, where are my fecal pills? Oh, I thought they were candy.